Hello everyone, welcome to our show. We had quite good results in the Breeders' Cup preview on last week, and we are going to preview the Wednesday meeting at Happy Valley this time. I'm quite happy to see Sarah again. How are you, Sarah? Do you like Hong Kong racing as well?
Hey, this is going to be my first time watching it. Thanks for having me back on. I'm excited. So this is my first time really looking at the form. I'm going to be paying close attention. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, cool. I think that Hong Kong racing is amazing. So I'm quite believe that you will be like Hong Kong racing more and more later. And hey, Joe, how are you? Great tip on Broom in the Breeders' Cup turf. Are you confident on Wednesdays at Happy Valley?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to previewing some of the horses. Yeah, it was a really great Breeders' Cup. I think the Euros did take over and Japan as well. So really good result for the Breeders' Cup and looking forward to next year at Keeneland.
Yeah, and Steve, you are quite informed for your French tips right now. And how do you think about the Happy Valley meeting on Wednesday?
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm doing quite well with the French form at the moment, so hopefully I can transfer that over to Happy Valley. Yes, it was an interesting meeting, wasn't it, on Wednesday? That's for
Yeah.
sure, with Nervous Witness.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will be quite a bit tricky on Wednesday, but I'm really looking forward to it. Just because before talking about Wednesday's card, I think we should discuss about Nervous Weakness. Nervous Weakness was beaten last Sunday. Steve, were you shocked about it when you saw Nervous Weakness was beaten?
Well, I expected him to win. I'm not.
Mm.
I expected him to win. Funnily enough, I thought his debut was a better performance than his next run. He went up to a mark of 66 for his next run, and it's all hindsight now, of course, after the fact. But he beat 9 horses in that race. 8 of them have since come out, and between them they've run 11 times, and the nearest to a win is Brilliant Fortune, third to Gunnison on the 1200 meters on the dirt. And the second race, the nearest rival he had in the betting was Carroll Street, and Carroll Street was of course badly hampered in the race and was eased down. So in hindsight, you just wonder if 14 pounds, taking up to a mark of 80 was a little bit steep. Now I'm not. I think there was something wrong. His run was probably too bad to be true, but maybe a mix between some minor ailment and also maybe going up to 80 was perhaps a bit too much. But I think it'd be unfair not to recognise Cordyceps 6, that was soundly beaten by Nervous Witness on his return and has since won twice, and he looked very, very good on Sunday.
How about you, Joe? Did it surprise you?
Yeah, it did. I mean, Cordyceps 6 ran a really great race, and usually with these big favorites, you always don't really recognize the winner. And I thought he ran a really big race, but the reports coming from David Hayes says that they think that they ran him too hard as far as all the other runs that he had before, because he went all out in his last race. So with what according to David Hayes is saying, that I think they pushed the button a little too hard on him for this past race. So maybe he'll get a little break in between before his next one. But that shot 10 straight, usually that 1,000 meters, sometimes it brings up some odd results. So kind of doesn't surprise me in that aspect. But with Nervous Witness being $1.10, I thought he was going to blow them all away.
Yeah, and Sarah, what do you think when you see that there is a $1.10 favorites got beaten? Do you feel surprised, or what do you think about it?
That's shocking, really. I mean, you think at $1.10, if this horse should have hit the board at least, and to not perform as well as I guess the public was thinking. Is that a big red flag? Is there something that, something possibly even going on with the horse that, the betting public won't know about? I think that definitely raises some red flags there of, okay, what's going on maybe behind the scenes.
Yeah, Nervous Weakness. I think that he is still young, and at least he didn't win, but at least he finished third under the top weight. And we will see him again soon, maybe on the 21st of November. And I think that we will possibly see him to bounce back at that time. So let's go for Wednesday cards at Happy Valley. The first leg of the triple trio will be in race 5. That is a class 4 race over 6 furlong. Sarah, which horse is your favorite in race 5?
I really like Exponential. I think this horse, he just really seemed to have taken to the Happy Valley track. I think he's coming off of a really strong second place finish last time out. To see him come back again at the same distance at Happy Valley, I think this race could be no problem for him. I feel like it possibly could even be an easy win for him. So I was pretty high on Exponential.
Yes, I think so. Exponential, he is quite a very tough horse, and I think he can overcome the wide gate under Jerry Chow. And Steve, what is your selection here?
I went for Infinity Win. He's yet to score in 4 runs, but they've been good runs, including on his return. He ran well at Happy Valley. Blakeston keeps the faith, and he's nicely drawn in gate 5. He was a good 5th last time from a wide barrier, and he's one of the more unexposed in the lineup. Now, on my notes here, I put that Exponential is in very good form, but creeping up the handicap. So that now means that now that Sarah's picked it, it's going to win by 3 lengths, and I'll have egg on my face. But I'll just have to read my notes. Amigo's Giggle's interesting, and Morera seemingly prefers Amigo's Giggle to the John Size trained Touch Faith. And that's expected. I think Amigo's Giggle's interesting. And Lawrence likes the lead. He's ideally drawn in 2. And Trans Dragon has the rail draw in 1, but he doesn't have great gate speed. And I think he'll have trouble to lie up with them, but he'll stay late on in the piece. Smart Lead is interesting, running well in the trials. Zach Purton rides, but gate 12's tough. So for me, Infinity Win and Blakeston.
Joe, do you agree with Steve?
Yeah, I'm also on the Infinity Win as well. They had Racing to Win, and I watched it, and Blakeston's really confident. And if you look in the last 2 barriers that he's drawn, 11 and 10, the penultimate race, he looked really good, even from drawing from a wide barrier with Zach Purton on. And with that, Blakeston was actually really looking forward to being drawn in a better barrier number 5. He could go to the front, but he doesn't need it, but he does have the gate speed to do it. But one interesting runner that I wanted to touch on just a little bit is Little Bird, who's at a big price. Little Bird ran really, really well on the all-weather track at Sha Tin, and I think that form with the wet track going to turf, usually in America, if you see a good dirt horse run well on a sloppy track and go to the turf, they usually perform as well, just like any other, from soft turf to good turf. So Little Bird is an interesting one for me. I do like Sarah's pick as well. Exponential has really good form, as Steve alluded to. But Infinity Win, even he hasn't won yet, so he's still a Griffin. But I think that with that, even with 60 kilos on his back, I think he'll perform really well in this race.
Yeah, Infinity Win now he's progressing well, and I think that returning to Happy Valley, the tight track is more suitable for him. And for me, I will go for number 4, Amigo's Giggle, that Steve just mentioned about him. He is also improving well, and this time Joe Morera on board again gives me more confidence because he had a good gallop with the horse last Saturday. Yeah, he was teaching the horse to become more and more mature. And then last time out, we saw that Amigo's Giggle removed all the gears, and he raced in a more relaxed way. I think that this time better gates, hopefully he can have a breakthrough. So to sum up, in race 5, our selection includes Sarah likes number 3, Exponential. Steve and Joe also go for number 1, Infinity Wins. And my pick will be number 4, Amigo's Giggle. And then to talk about the second leg of the triple trio, that is race 6, a class 2 race over 6 furlong. We see that just a field of 9 here, just a small field, but I think it is not that clear. So Sarah, which is your pick?
I, in race 6 here, I really like the 9 winning method. This horse, I think with the weight drop here, it's really going to help him out, especially with his early speed. I think we're going to hopefully see this horse perform. He's coming off of kind of a rough finish, his last start out at Happy Valley. But I'm really thinking with that early speed, because this horse does seem to like fade. But I'm hoping here at this 1200 meter with that weight drop, it's really going to help him, especially out of barrier 6. So I'm really intrigued by this horse. I'm really interested to see how this horse is going to come back after that loss, and so I'm putting my money on winning method.
Yeah, winning method. The trainer Danny Shum decided to race him in a class 2 race this time. The lightweight is the biggest advantage for this strong horse. I like him as well. And then Steve, are you going to choose a horse with lightweights as well?
Yes, I'm going for transcendent. Transcendent. It's always hard to say that word. He's been around for a while. He's still only 5 years old, and he won nicely last time. He had winning method back in second, and actually he faces winning method again on £10 worse terms. So in theory, winning method should get his revenge. But it's one of these gut feelings. I just think transcendence. I don't know, kind of improving, and might actually confirm the form. Teton rides. He rode a winner for Tony Cruz at the weekend with I'm a Single Man. It's a really hard race, though. I mean, apart from maybe Flying Bonus and Shining Gem, which I wasn't too keen on, it's difficult to rule any out. The John Size pair, Drops of God, he's thrown in 9. That's not ideal for one that likes to be prominent. And Sight Success, well, he won well last time, but that was over the 1,000 metres. But they're both hard to rule out. But for me, yes, Transcendent to make it back-to-back wins.
Transcendent is the last time winner over the same course and distance, and recently he had a good barrier trial performance, and I hope that he can have a back-to-back win. And Joe, which horse do you like?
I'm on the Sight Success camp. I mean, he's gone up in weight, but I think he'll run okay. He had a really brilliant win last time out on the 300 meters coming up to the straight. He had a really quick turn of foot. You see that his lead change was pretty simple, and he just went on with it. I think if he gets alone on the lead, he'll be okay. That's how he won last time and held all the contenders off. You look at his previous form, when he won on debut, and then he's won three. He had a hat trick in that. And that was before the season ended. So this one, he has 3 wins on the distance. I don't think Happy Valley will be a problem. I mean, he's won all of his races at Shots In until this win at Happy Valley, and he looks like if he stays on the speed and no one contends the speed with him, I think he'll be hard to beat.
Yes, Sight Success is another last start winner in the field. And this time, I think that the good gate again is also a big advantage for him. And then for me, I will go for number 6, Drops of God. We see that John Size is sending 2 horses here, including Joe's selection, Sight Success, and another one is Drops of God. And I think that Drops of God will have his Happy Valley debuts this time. My concern will be about the gate 9. I think it would be a bit difficult for him. But I think that Drops of God this time will try to stay in the midfield, because I guess the pace in this race will be a bit fast here. So staying as the midfield with cover would be a good position. And we see that several years before, there was another son of Mosman having really good performance at the Valley. That is I Victory, also trained by John Size. And hopefully, I think Drops of God can do what I Victory did. So I will go for number 6, Drops of God. To sum up, in race 6, our selection includes Sara is go for number 9, Winning Method. Steve likes number 8, Transcendent. Joe likes number 2, Sight Success, and I like another horse trained by John Size, that is number 6, Drops of God. And then to talk about the third leg of the triple trio, that is race 7, a class 4 race over a mile. Sarah, which horse do you like here?
I like the 3 here, Red Majesty. I think this horse has been really, really trying hard at these class 4 races. He was dominating class 5 races, and he comes into class 4, and you know, he's not doing bad. He's just not performing as strong, but I think now he's kind of getting his footing as to the type of competition he's racing against. So he's coming off of a 3rd place win last time out at Happy Valley at this distance. I'm just really intrigued by this horse. If I think this horse has some really great tactics there in the stretch, this could be a really interesting win for him. I'm really intrigued by him. I want to see him be performing as well as he was in class 5s, in the class 4s. So I'm having to pick him. I'm just so intrigued by this horse.
Yes, Red Majesty will be my selection as well, and he will also be my best bet because he may be the only leader here, and the pace is expected to be slow, which is very favorable for him. And also his forms are really consistent recently, especially this course and distance. So my best bet for Wednesday will be race 7, number 3, Red Majesty. And then Steve, are you going to give Manna from Heaven one more chance?
Yes, I am. It's amazing how many times I pick a horse and the next time it wins. So yes, Manna from Heaven actually got beat by Red Majesty last time, and Red Majesty ran a very good race. He was hassled for the lead, So he did very well in hanging on. Manna from Heaven was just behind. So, yes, I'll go for him. Gate 4 is ideal. He likes to be prominent too. Both wins have come over course and distance, including one with today's jockey, Matthew Chadwick. And he's only £3 above his last winning mark. So, yes, Manna from Heaven for me.
Yes, definitely. Manna from Heaven will jump from a good gate 4, which is quite ideal for him. And then, Joe, how about you?
I'm going for a big price here. I'm going with SWAT Troopers Win. He has the ability to win at Happy Valley at 1650. He's won it before. And with that race, when I watched it, he had a really, really explosive closing effort. And he all he did was just go on the outside and just caught whoever was in the front. So that was like a really good performance. And usually with these 1650 races, the barriers don't matter too much as far as even at a sprint distance. So he does have that middle distance staying type, because he did win at Charene with Matthew Poon. So I think they're putting them all together. I know he's a big price. You probably want to take him each way. But this one, if you go by form alone, he does have some tendency to finish round 5th or 6th. But if he gets that good run and is not blocked in traffic or gets a good trip, I think he'll perform well in this race.
Yes, SWAT Troopers Win is quite a dynamic horse. Over his 2 victories before in Hong Kong, once it is lead till the end, and the other one is chased from the behind. And I think that this horse is quite dynamic, and I think that he is quite good at this price. And then we will go for our best bet. And Sarah, do you have a best bet at Happy Valley on Wednesday?
Yes, I like in race 3, I like the 3 Joyful N. He's going at 1,000 meters. This horse, I think, could possibly get loose. If he gets loose on the lead, he could wire the field. I'm very excited. He's dropping in class, and he also gets a drop in weight as well. So that was kind of key for me, where really studying his speed. Like I said, I think if this horse will get loose, he could wire the field here. So he's my best bet. Race 3, Joyful Win.
A Joyful Win will return to 5 furlong again, and I think that maybe now this distance is more suitable for him. And then how about Steve? What is your best bet?
I went for California Concord as the best bet. His losing run starting to mount up, but he always tries hard. I've always got a soft spot for California Concord. Gate 6 is fine, and he returned this season with a good 4th over the 1,000 meters. It has to be said he's been beaten favourite twice since on the all-weather, but he's run well there. He's just come up against better horses, I guess. He ran with credit, and the handicap is starting to cut him some slack. And Jerry Chow, fantastic jockey, takes another £3 off. So I hope he returns to winning ways. California Concord in race 8.
Yes, we remember that last season, Jerry Chow had quite good performance over this horse at Happy Valley, and he will return to Happy Valley again on Wednesday. Quite a good chance here as well. And then, Joe, what is your best bet?
Now, normally I don't tip a best bet that is over the odds. I think right now in the Hong Kong market, he's about $20. But You're My Everything in race 9, the last race, the lucky last, usually with Happy Valley, sometimes you most likely, I'd probably say 80%, you get a blowout in the last race. Now with You're My Everything, formerly biggest in Australia, is undefeated. So he's had 1 win at Werribee and then also at Pakenham. And he's trialed well. And if you just look at that form alone against all the other runners, and especially with Alexi Bedell running so well this season, yes. I don't know why he's that price. That's my. I mean, maybe because he's coming from Australia and trying to get used to the Hong Kong climate, but I've tipped them before where I thought that they were going to run well at New Zealand and they come to Hong Kong and totally don't perform. I've seen it with South African horses, but this one's a little different, especially with Alexi Bedell up, and he's ran at distances that were a little bit longer. But I think that with Happy Valley on the tighter course, he'll perform well. And I'm really confident in this last race. Otherwise, it wouldn't be my best bet. So I'm going to go with You're My Everything in the last.
Yeah, definitely. You Are My Everything is now currently having quite a good price, but previously we see that some Pakenham winners, when they move to Hong Kong, they will be adapt to the new environment very fast, and then they will have quite good result in Hong Kong. And I also like You Are My Everything as well. And then for our value bet, and what is your value bet, Sarah?
I liked the 7 World Famous in race 4. I think with Chadwick sticking in the iron there, put out a pretty decent trial run, showed some promising effort there. So coming into the 1800 meter, really stretching out there. He has run this distance at Happy Valley before. He's racing okay, but I just think with the performance of his trial run at Charene, he just seemed like he was showing a lot for this horse. Like he's finally finding his footing. So for a price, I like World Famous. We'll see. He is upping in weight, but I think he's will be coming out of barrier 1. So he does have that front speed that will help a lot coming out of that barrier to really get ahead of everybody and not to get blocked in. So I'm going to take him World Famous.
I think so. World Famous will be jumping from gate 1. That is really, really ideal for him. And he will be the only leader in this way. So the slow pace will be very favorable for him. And Steve, what is your value bet?
I like race 1, Centenary Ibis. He's quite unexposed after 11 runs. He's been with Tony Millard since April, and they just had 5 runs with the trainer. But he's starting to show improvement. A very good trainer, Tony Millard. And gate 4 is a good draw. And Karis Teaton on board. And Karis Teaton has a good relationship with the trainer, has a few winners. He was a very good 5th last time over course and distance. And he was parked out wide for most of the way in gate 11, and under the circumstances he did very well. He managed to stay on, beating less than 3 lengths. He's been dropped a pound for that. He's down to a rating of 24 now. It's really basement rating, and I expect him to go really well. Centenary Ibis, hopefully start off with winner.
Yes, gate 4 is much more better for him on his recent start, and I think that this Centenary Ibis is possibly can stay in front of the field because from gate 4. I also think that there is a good chance for him to break his maiden. And Joe, what is your value bet?
Well, I just want to say first off, if Sara does get World Famous home, she'll be worlder famous because that's going to be a really, really nice price. I mentioned in race number 7, Stormtroopers win. It's just, I like form at Happy Valley. If they've ran it before and they've won off of it, I feel confident that they'll do it again, especially when you mentioned that he has come from off the pace in the front and come from the back. So he is a very dynamic and tactical horse. So if you see him coming out, if he stays in the back, because I don't think the draw matters as much, if you see him winding up at the 300 meters, you better start lining up because it will be choo-choo, the Matthew Poon train.
Yes. Yeah, Poon Train is quite a good jockey. His winner is also includes some outsider, and I'm quite looking forward to this horse. And then for my value bet, that will be in race 2, number 7, Everlaugh. Last time out over a mile at Charene, it was not a good trip for him. He was wide without cover all the time, but still chased well to finish 6th. Moving back to Happy Valley, here is a better course for Everlaugh. Hopefully, Luke Ferraris will have a good result on this horse. So that's the end of our show. Thank you for your time, Sara, Joe, and Steve. I think we are going to have an enjoyable day at Happy Valley. Good luck and see you next week. Bye-bye.